YouTube, what's the vibe? It's your boy Zebo708, and I'm back with another one. Let's talk about it. I'm bringing you today a fragrance that I absolutely love. It's one particular fragrance that I don't have anything else from this house. I haven't even been too motivated to grab anything else from this house, though I've heard a lot of, banging fragrances that came from this house. I don't know. I'm just not too moved to get nothing else from it. I'm extremely satisfied with the one fragrance that I got from it. It was hyped up, beyond imagination. And in my opinion, it lived up to that hype. It really did. It lived up to that hype, and it still does. The fragrance that I'm talking about is Dumont's Nitro Red. Man, I love this fragrance. I love this fragrance because this fragrance gets the job done. It absolutely does what it's supposed to do. In fact, it does what a lot of fragrances should do that's, in its category. What category I'm talking about? The inexpensive category. This fragrance will run you anywhere from around probably 25 to, up to 40. 40 probably would be like the most extreme, the max, and I definitely could find it for, cheaper than that. But it's worth it. It's worth that 40. I would pay that 40 if I couldn't find it nowhere else cheaper. This fragrance is the OG. They just came out with a flanker, the Nitro Red Intense, which I'm not interested in. I'm gonna be honest. I don't need it. I don't need it. And the reason why I say I don't need it, you can go on YouTube or any, social media platform like TikTok or, and you can see tons of reviews about Nitro Red, the OG, and how it performs like a very expensive fragrance. It really does. It performs like it's a $400 fragrance. You can, people are just gonna have great remarks about this fragrance. Really are. I've seen a few that, kind of, knocked the fragrance, kind of talked about it a little bit, didn't, want to give it its respect. And, in my opinion, it's bullshit. It's bullshit because, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Inexpensive fragrances get more negative remarks than these designers and these luxury fragrances that cost $300, $400, $200. And a lot of the time you'll run across one like this Nitro Red that will outperform some of those, designers and luxury fragrances that cost you $400. But the thing is, these people will spend $400, $300, $250 on a fragrance that's not performing the way that it should, and they won't knock it because, they spent that bread. Ain't nobody gonna, sit up there and tell you, hey man, I just threw $400 on this shit and I could have spent $35 on something that's better than that. Come on, man, that's cap and that's bullshit. That's why on my channel I'm not promoting no bullshit. If man, I'm gonna tell you go get some shit for $400 or $250, and you got something that's $35 or $40 that's performing greater than that shit. They don't even, man, it's so crazy because rarely do you see anybody being honest. And I'm not going to say everybody, but I'm not going to say everybody because you got a lot of guys that do, come on these platforms and give you the truth. Good, bad, about expensive, inexpensive fragrances. But, it's like we hold these these inexpensive fragrances to a standard higher than these, you know, fragrances that cost way more money. And to be honest, if it's costing these fragrances $30 to create, how much more quality is it than, you know, these fragrances that's costing us $30? How much more? The whole entire fragrance is $30. You spending $400 and it only costs $30 to make. Come on, man, $30 to make. How much more expensive is the ingredients? Anyway, I'm ranting. That ain't even what the video is about. You know, I'm gonna jump into what the video is really about. It's really about this Nitro Red. I'm loving this fragrance. You know, the OG, I'm stuck on this one. I'm not trying to move on to, you know, the intensified to the second tense, all that. This is highly potent. It projects extremely well. Longevity is on point. What else could you ask for? What else could you ask for? I'm being reasonable when I get my fragrances and, you know, what I select. I be reasonable. I don't expect, you know, these checklists of, you know, come on, bro. Like, it's, the object for me is to smell good. And that's definitely what this fragrance does. This fragrance is one of the ones that I love because it do what it's supposed to do. I have no worries when I put this fragrance on. Absolute banger. Look at it. I'm dipping in it. I'm dipping in it, putting my foot in it because it smells that good. Like, I'm putting this is definitely being worn. Like, in this summer, I'm definitely gonna hit at least, I'm gonna say at least 2 to 3 sprays because this thing is a monster. It's definitely a monster. It's not one that you wanna, you know, necessarily overspray because it does its job. It projects well. Sillage, long lasting, and the smell is beautiful. Man, you getting that fruity, woody kind of a fragrance. Like, it's definitely that. Definitely heavy on the fruity aspect of it. You got the watermelon, which is like the theme of it. That watermelon is the theme. Like, you getting that right off the top, and that's staying with you. It's not one of them ones you spread and it lasts and transition into something else. No, you got that watermelon, you got green apple, you got bergamot, you got amber and cedarwood, sandalwood. Like, you got a nice blend in this fragrance. Now, if you're not into the fruit and you really, you know, don't really rock with the fruity fragrances, this not for you. I'm gonna let you know that right off back because from first spray to you wash this joint off, you getting that fruit. Yeah, you definitely getting that fruit. But if you don't have a problem with fruit, you definitely is gonna love it, you know, because man, that sweet fruity aspect of it is just, man, it's killing it. It's killing it. And I like it because, again, I'm not really, you know, particularly one of those people that, you know, have to have a fragrance that lasts me, you know, 6 months on my skin. I'll be honest. I don't have to have no fragrance that lasts, you know, forever. You know, I could get a good 4 to, I'd say 7 hours in a fragrance, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because it's, you know, most of the time, you know, a lot of these fragrances that are inexpensive, they're not gonna give you no more than 8 hours. And the good thing about it is that it's cool. It's cool. You ain't break the bank. You ain't, I can't even see, moving around for an extended amount of time, like 10 hours, and wanting the fragrance to still be on me for 10 hours. Like, I'm not eventing for 10 hours. I'm not out, now, you single, you moving around, that's what you into. Yeah, that's what you need, that 10 hours. Me personally, I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and atomize a basic. We know where their money didn't go. Their money didn't go into this, into the atomizer. They didn't put too much into that, But it's basic. It get the job done. Nice little spray. You get you enough juice out of it. I ain't tripping on that. Again, 25 to 40 bucks. I ain't really walking around like, hey, what you got on? The atomizer? Man, the atomizer is a beat. No, I'm not doing all that, so I ain't really, tripping on the atomizer. But in the air, right off the top, fruity. Fruity. And that's the theme of this. The theme of this is sweet, fruity, with a little hint of woodsy aspect to it, and I say a little woodsy because, the fruity aspect, mainly the watermelon aspect is dominating, and I think that they was trying to create something else called the watermelon effect. This is the first fragrance that I've heard about that's heavy on the watermelon. Let's see if they create a watermelon effect. Let's see if we get some clones or some dupes of Nitro Red or inspired buys. Anyway, I'm gonna put this on the testing strip, which I'm already knowing this thing is doing what it's supposed to do. I'm already knowing. I put it in the air and was still smelling it before I even put it on the testing strip. But on the testing strip, it does change a bit. It does change a bit. It's less light. It's a little more dense. Those fruits are, marinating together. They kind of, blending well, and you're starting to smell, you still smell that watermelon heavy, but now it's a kick of apple in there. You can smell that apple. Don't really get too much of the bergamot, but you definitely get the watermelon and the apple. This is, I don't need the intense. I don't, because this is, in my opinion, is intense enough for me. I'm not, an extremist when it comes to very loud fragrances. Some of I'm okay with a subtle fragrance. I'm okay with that. I don't believe that all fragrances have to be, aggressive and loud and dominant and projecting like beast mode. Nah, you give me a nice, great smelling fragrance, and I'm content with that, because as long as it smells good, I smell good and feel good, I'm all right with that. Now, on skin, it is far more dense than in air and on testing strip. On skin, you get that blend of everything in there now. You get more of the apple. You still get that heavy watermelon. You still get the heavy watermelon, but you get more of the apple. You get more of the amber. You get more of the cedar wood, which, you still got that great sweetness. It's still sweet. It's still fruity. Though you got that base of the woodsy aspect of it, which is key, because I believe that's what makes it, you know, a little more dense. But that fruit floating off your skin like a fruit basket. Like you smelling a mixture of different fruits in there. Like, I'm loving this, man. This is I don't think that this will go out of style fragrance wise in a while. Like, you still see people making videos about this fragrance. Even though they came out with a flanker. Usually the flanker kind of bumped the OG out of the way, but it's still hanging in there. And if by chance I run out real, you know, anytime soon of this fragrance, I'm definitely gonna do a double back and grab Nitro Red. I'm not going for the intense. I don't need the intense. I'm satisfied with this. In my opinion, this is good enough. I don't need nothing else. I don't need, you know, an intensified version of this when this is like already representing. Like, I don't need it. I'm content with this. Like, this is definitely, you know, a fragrance that I love and will be grabbing another bottle of, you know. So I don't know. I do know on the dry down, the fruits start to kind of like mellow out. And that will give you a more well-rounded, balanced fragrance of fruit and woodsy aspects. So, you know, it's not all fruitsy. Don't get me wrong. It's not all fruity. It's not, you know, gonna just throw you off because it's fruity. And it's, in my opinion, it's not, because it's fruity, it's not, I don't see it being unisex. However, I have seen women, you know, with it, that talk about it and wear it, but I don't get that. I just get that this is a very good fragrance and it's something different, you know, for the fellas to rock. So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video. I just wanted to talk about this fragrance because it was on my shelf and I actually was reaching for it today because this is my scent of the day. So I say, you know what? I've never done a video or talked about this fragrance, and I'm actually gonna wear it today. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and do a video about it. If you haven't gotten it, get your nose on it. You know, you might be missing out on a great fragrance, especially, you know, this time of season. You know, you definitely could put that on and pull or something. You know, somebody gonna walk past you and stomach gonna start growling. You know, they want a snack. You smell delicious. You smell like something that, you know, they might want to take a bite out of. So, you know, man, I mean, it smells good like that. You know, and I've seen a lot of reviewers say that, man, it smells like the watermelon Jolly Rancher. It do. It do smell like that, but on the dry down, the fruits kind of like mellow out a little bit, but you still get that nice fruity vibe to it, and it smells good. So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video. Thanks for watching. You know, thanks for supporting. Man, like, share, jump in the comment. If you got it, tell me what you think about it, because this, in my opinion, it's one of my favorite fragrances. You know, if you don't have it, you know, and you've seen it before, you heard about it, you know, tell me why you don't. You know, if you like it, you know, or don't like it, let me know. Jump in the comments. I'm out of here. Peace.